For the very first time in its nuclear history, India is believed to have developed nuclear warheads during peacetime. According to latest assessment by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institution, India now has 12 operational deployed nuclear warheads, marking a significant shift in country's nuclear posture. What does this mean for India's nuclear doctrine, its deterrence strategy, and the balance of power in Asia? The Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, globally respected arms monitoring organization based in Sweden, released its yearbook 2026 on Monday. The report estimates that India now possesses 190 nuclear warheads, up from 180 warheads in 2025. But the most significant finding is this: for the first time, Stockholm has classified 12 Indian nuclear warheads as deployed, while 178 remain in storage. Until now, Stockholm had assessed that India kept all its nuclear warheads stockpiled rather than operational deployed. What has changed? According to Stockholm, India has traditionally followed the practice of storing nuclear warheads separately from their delivery system, such as ballistic missile, during peacetime. However, the institute says recent developments indicate a possible shift. In its report, Stockholm stated India has long been assumed that India stores its nuclear warheads separate from its deployed launches during peacetime. However, the country's recent move towards placing missiles in canisters and conducting sea-based deterrence patrols suggests that India could be shifting in direction of the mating some of warheads with their launches in peacetime. In simple terms, this means some warheads may now kept ready for launch rather than being stored separately. Stockholm believes that deployment is likely linked to India's growing sea-based nuclear deterrence. The report says India may have started deploying a small number of nuclear warheads on a single SSBN, or nuclear power ballistic missile submarine, conducting occasional deterrence patrol. This development comes after India operationalized 2 nuclear power ballistic missile submarines, INS Arihant and INS Aridaman. Both vessels become operational after August 2024 and are capable carrying nuclear armed ballistic missile. They have also been cleared for deterrence patrol. Why SSBNs matter? SSBNs are considered one of the most important components of the country's nuclear deterrent. These submarines can remain hidden underwater for extended periods and conduct long duration patrol. Their primary role is guarantee a credible second strike capability. In other words, even if an advisory launches a nuclear attack first, these submarines ensure that India can retaliate. This survivability makes sea-based nuclear forces the strongest and most secure leg of the nuclear triad. Does this change India's nuclear doctrine? Not necessarily. India continues to remain its long-standing no first use policy, under which nuclear weapons are intended primarily for retaliation after a nuclear attack. The deployment of the limited number warhead does not mean India has abandoned this doctrine. Instead, Stockholm suggests it reflects India's effort to strengthen the credibility and survivability of its nuclear deterrence through the sea-based platform. India's nuclear moderation. The report also highlights India's ongoing nuclear modernization program. According to Stockholm, India is believed to have once again slightly expanded its nuclear arsenal in 2025 and continued development of the new types of nuclear delivery system. This institute says India's modernization efforts are increasingly focused on developing longer range systems capable of reaching targets throughout China. However, India's planning continues to be influenced by its long-standing strategic rivalry with Pakistan. Now come India versus China. Despite the development of 12 warheads, India's operational nuclear force remains much smaller than China's. According to Stockholm, China possesses approximately 620 nuclear warheads. Of these, 34 are deployed. In 2025, China had 24 deployed warheads. By 2026, that number increased to 34. Stockholm says this is only the second year that China has been categorized as possessing operational deployed nuclear weapons. This institute described China as the fastest growing nuclear power in the world. According to the reports, China is expanding its nuclear arsenal faster than any country and showcased several new nuclear systems during its 2025 military parade. China's rapid expansion. Stockholm estimates that China has loaded hundreds of missiles into 3 major missile silos field in northern China. construction of additional missile silos complex is also continuing in eastern China. The report says that depending on how Beijing structure its force, China could potentially possess at least as many intercontinental ballistic missiles, either Russia or the United States, by the end of this decade. However, even if China succeeds 1,000 nuclear warheads by 2030, that arsenal still only about 1/4 of size current Russian and American stockpile. Russia and the United States. Russia continue to maintain the world's largest deployed nuclear force. According to Stockholm, 1,796 deployed nuclear warhead, around 4,400 usable warheads in the military stockpiles. Now, United States, 1,770 deployed nuclear warheads, around 3,700 usable warheads in a military stockpile. Together, Russia and the United States account approximately 83% of the military stockpiled nuclear warhead in the world. According to Stockpile says, both the countries continue extensive nuclear modernization program. However, challenges remain. Russia reportedly faced setbacks, including another failed test of the Sarmat interconnection ballistic missile in 2025. At the same time, Moscow continued developing advanced nuclear system and building infrastructure in the Belarus for the dual-capable or synced intermediate-range ballistic missile. The United States is also pursuing a major nuclear modernization program, although planning difficulties and budget pressure continue to affect cost and timelines. The goal nuclear picture. According to Stockholm, decades of reduction in nuclear arsenal may now be coming to end. All 9 nuclear-armed states, United States, Russia, United Kingdom, France, China, India, Pakistan, North Korea, and Israel continued nuclear modernization programs throughout 2025. Most of them also introduced new nuclear capability system. As of January 2026, global nuclear inventory 12,187 warheads, military stockpiles available for use 9,745 warheads, deployed with missiles and aircraft 4,012 warheads, on high operational alert 2,100 to 2,200 warheads, and most of the high alert warheads being to Russia and United States. Stockholm also noted that both the China and India may now occasionally deploy small number of warheads mounted on the missiles during peacetime. The report also pointed out growing international concern over the nuclear arms control. According to Stockholm, the 2026 review conference on the nuclear non-proliferation treaty ended without final consensus document. This marks that third consecutive review conference to conclude without agreement among the participating nations. India's deployment of 12 nuclear warheads may appear small when compared with the vast arsenal of China, Russia, and United States. Yet, the strategically move is significant. For the first time, India is being assessed as having operational deployment nuclear forcing during the peacetime. The development reflects a gradual shift towards more ready and survivable nuclear deterrent, driven largely by the expansion of India's sea-based capabilities and the operational deployment of the ballistic missile submarine fleet. As global nuclear competition intensifies, major powers continue expanding and modernizing their arsenals. India's evolving nuclear posture will remain the closely watched across the world. Stay tuned with us. See you in the next one. Jai Hind.